Hey, what's up? Hank Klinger doing another video for you guys. My day 4 of waking up early, and then I'll get into some other mindset tips for you to help you take control of your life and really just make changes. You know, I say take control of your life. It sounds so big and drastic, but it's really not. It's more of making the little changes that make a difference, because typically people aren't as far off as they think they are. They're so hard on themselves, you know, for everything, which isn't really fair, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So 4th day today, and I realized that I'm adjusting. I have more energy today for sure, but it's I may need to do like a nap during the day, because I go to sleep still like midnight, and I wake up about 4:30, so about 4 hours of sleep a day right now. But my body's pretty used to it, my mind's pretty used to it, but I notice at times getting a lag, and for some reason I've been waking up every night at like 1:30, wide awake. It takes about a half an hour to go back to bed. I recommend, if someone wants to change their sleep schedule, that you do a slower transition than I did. You know, I was getting up at like 6:30, 7:30, and then I just shot straight to 4:30. I'd recommend maybe the first few days getting up at like 7:15, 7 o'clock, and then dropping it 15 to 30 minutes every few days after that, so your body can get used to it a little easier, because your body does go through a transitional period. It can take a week, it can take a couple weeks to get used to the new sleep schedule, and during that first couple weeks you may get lack of motivation, you may get emotional, you could just feel tired all day, you could have spurts of energy and then just lag, so really up and down. But regardless of that, it's going good, so definitely going to create the habit. You know, 21 days they say it takes to create a new habit, but I believe that the habit can happen instantaneously when it's something that you really want. You know, when I quit smoking cigarettes, it was like that, you know. I had a pack of cigarettes and I said, done smoking, no more smoking. When I quit heroin, you know, it wasn't like a taper down thing, like a transition. You can't do that with something that extreme. You know, alcohol is the same way. It's like done, you know. And weight, same thing. You know, when you just make the decision finally that you're going to get in shape, it's like, for me it was an instantaneous thing. You know, it's like no more, never again, that's it. You know, everything has been like that. Making money, having faith in myself, everything. Which really brings me, what I want to bring this video about is that the change, you know, you gotta want it. You gotta want whatever it is with all of your heart, with all of your might, because this is reality, this is it. You know, everybody says, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it the next day, but there's no pregame. You know, that kind of talk is bullshit, and it will hold you back. It'll screw up your whole life, and you'll look back with regret, you know, 20 years later. And I know this from my own experience, 33 years old, you know, and I had a lot of regret, which is another thing that I want to talk about, is regret, guilt, remorse. It does you no good whatsoever, so stop that right now. If you have regret, people get guilty for everything they do. They get guilty when they're spending time with their family because they think they should be working. They get guilty while they're at work because they feel like they should be spending time with their family, and it's ridiculous. All it does is perpetuate worry and more fear. So really, I want to encourage you to let go of the guilt, let go of the regret. And if you're having problems with that area of your life, I know from my own experience in the past, that forgiveness. A lot of times regret and guilt come from holding on to grudges. And it's easier just to forgive. And what true forgiveness is simply understanding that there's nothing to forgive in the first place. You know, they're just actions. People make stupid actions sometimes. There's some drastic things that people can do. It doesn't mean you have to necessarily like the person. You can't make yourself like anybody. But at the same time, holding on to the grudge just hurts you more than it hurts them. So I want to encourage you to stop being so hard on yourself. You got to demand more of yourself than anybody will. But if you make a mistake, if you slip up, don't beat yourself up. That's the last thing you should do. Instead of doing what most people do when they slip up, is try to negate it and try to move on without even thinking about it, I suggest, from my own personal experience, to stop and ask yourself, why did this happen? To actually question it, you know, to look inside yourself, which is really the key to all of it. everything in life, man. People seek so much outside themselves. They're always looking and searching for that book or that video or that audio, and I did this for a long time. I believe it's healthier for you to write your own book than it is to read a book. Because everybody knows what's right and wrong. Once you hit a certain age, you know if you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. I can't remember who said it, but along the lines of my religion is, when something makes me feel good, I do that. When something makes me feel bad, I don't do that. And most people, unless they have some kind of psychological issue, know what's right and wrong. And there's no book out there that's going to give you all the answers. There's nothing that will. I mean, life has to be experienced and unfolded in this moment, right? And the more that you look inside of yourself and you do a lot of inner self-talk, the more that you're going to learn about how to overcome every obstacle. And the more you do this with positive self-talk, not negative self-talk, and the way you question. A lot of people ask questions to themselves all the time. Life is full of questions, inner questions, and our inner dialogue. And it's really important that you pay attention to your inner dialogue, because you ask yourself something along the lines of, why can't I make money? Why am I always broke? Why am I overweight? Why can't I hold a relationship like most people do? Your subconscious mind, your brain, the ego, all of it, all parts of you are going to find so many shitty answers. Oh, well, you can't lose weight because you overeat and you're a fat slob, blah, blah, blah. You can't make money because you have bad spending habits. But it won't be so nice, right? Most people are harsh on themselves. So you learn how to ask better questions, Ask, how can I focus more on my career and earn more income? How can I be a better partner and hold a good relationship? How can I be a better father and spend more time with my children? How can I find more balance and harmony in my life? Questions like these are really going to change the way that your life starts to flow, because they gear you in the right direction. See, every time that you start to ask questions, think positive thoughts in a positive direction, it sparks another thought in that direction. It gets you moving in that direction. So if you start your day with these kinds of questions and these kinds of thoughts, then you're really going to notice a lot of change in your life. And don't beat yourself up when you fall down. Success isn't about, it's not about just perfection, success. It doesn't work like that. There is no perfection. Nobody succeeds straight. We're human. And I don't like saying only human because that kind of sounds like limiting. But we are human. So we do make mistakes. But it's what you do at the time of these mistakes, these setbacks, these obstacles, these holdbacks, that really make a difference in your life. I used to be to the point where I would do something and I would beat myself up for it for days and days and days and days, and all it does is create more problems, more issues, more regret, more worry, and just starts to really fuck your life up. And I apologize for the cursing to some of you guys out there, but hey, it is what it is. And sometimes it's the only way you can really get the point across to people. But, this negative self-talk that people do and getting stuck in ruts, it's dangerous. Because next thing you know, 10 years later goes by, or 10 years go by, and you're wondering what happened, where things have gone. And it perpetuates and turns into another 10 years. And I did this, for 15 years. I was on heroin and all these other drugs. It seemed like just constantly stuck in this negative flow. So it's dangerous. And it's important that you really, really pay attention to your inner dialogue and understand that you're going to have faults. You're going to have habits that you're going to want to change, but you're going to focus on one habit at a time. You're going to have issues that arise. People are going to die. Relationships are going to fall apart. Friends are going to leave. You might lose your job. Your diet might break. You might get hurt. You might get sick. It's just the way life is. But resilience during these times It's what makes you a stronger person, and it's all a part of life. And the more that you confront all of these obstacles as they happen, instead of trying to negate them like most people do, and you try to understand better how to overcome them and how to become a stronger version of yourself, and you allow yourself to grow, the stronger person you will become. And you'll get more confidence. And when the problems start to rise again, they won't be so dramatic. And you can start to see, if you analyze this kind of stuff, or pay attention at least, you can start to see patterns arising in your life, and that's when you can make real change. When you become aware of why these things occur in your life, then you can start to stop yourself before they happen again. It's how we grow. You know, people try to negate failure, but the way that the mind works, the automatic success mechanism, the ASM that's in our mind, essentially we have a servo mechanism that's in our brain. It's like a servo mechanism on a guided rocket or torpedo. You know, every time, or a rocket that launches to the moon, every time they launch something of this nature, it's off course. And it's constantly analyzing and adjusting course to hit its target. Life is like this. The servo mechanism in your brain has to fail in order to succeed. It has to try new things, fail them, forget the failures, remember the successes, and move forward towards the goal and adjust as it's going. So don't try to negate failure. My best advice is to really go in and to embrace failure, to seek failure out, to encourage failure in your life, and to understand that when all of this stuff happens, it's just a part of life. You shouldn't beat yourself up about it. And that's it. You know, I know this video was kind of a rant and a ramble. I'm still tired a little bit, getting adjusted to this sleep thing, so it kind of touched a lot of bases, but it's just things that I thought were important. You know, I see a lot of stuff on Facebook. People complaining about things in their life, and a lot of pain and a lot of agony. Gonna have to deal with it. You're the only one that can. And honestly, not many people out there really care. That's the truth of it. So, toughen up. Embrace your life. When you get knocked down, get back up and go forward, just the way it is. And always keep going forward. It's not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you can get back up and keep going forward, and keep going forward. So, I appreciate all you guys. I'll be doing another video tomorrow. Maybe it'll be a little more focused. If you guys have any ideas for videos, topics, anything, I'll do the research. I'll answer your question to the best of my ability. If I don't know it, I'll do the research. If I do know it, then I'll answer it best I can. You can send me a message on Facebook, comment below on this video if it's on YouTube. You can personal message me, comment, whatever you want. So, Hank Klinger, I appreciate all you guys. For more information on how you can work with me, go to http://attractinglife.com. Take care.